Hi, everybody. Welcome to Anything Routine. This is Cindy Clow, and I'm excited today to have as my guest a new friend that I just met a couple weeks ago, maybe only a week ago, Shawn Zachery. And she's the founder and director of the HBCU-ADD, right? And I'm going to
Correct.
I'll let you tell us in a minute what that is about, but I am excited to have her on as a guest today. And we recently met at the National Dance Coaches Association, where Shawn was inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is quite an honor. So I'm going to give you a little history on Shawn Zachery. She graduated from Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in '87 with a degree in computer science. Since receiving her degree, she has spent more than 30 years working in the technology field. In '85, she transitioned from competitive gymnastics to dance while at Southern as a Southern University dancing doll. She also played clarinet. I played clarinet too. We have a lot in common in the Southern University concert band. After graduation, she continued her studies in ballet, modern, jazz, tap, and hip hop. She performed in local dance troupes such as Gino Johnson's Planet Funk, That's Who I Know, and Mahogany Dance Theater of Dallas. She also became a certified fitness instructor in 1995 and continues to teach fitness classes and be an advocate for health and fitness to this day. Ms. Zachary began coaching dance teams in 1996 as the coach of the Ooh La La dancers at the prestigious HBCU Howard University. 96 through 1999. She later went on to start the very first dance line at Moreau High School in Moreau, Georgia, and coached the Champaign Dancers of South Carolina State U from '06 to '07. Boy, you've gotten around. You've done a lot in your career. After moving to Virginia, she coached the Hot Ice Dancers at Norfolk State University and the Black Foxes dance team at Prairie View A&M University, which was featured in the docuseries March on the CW network and the Aspire TV network, 6 Minutes to Glory 2023. I'm going to have to try to watch that. She spends her spare time sharing ideas with other collegiate and high school dance coach, which inspired her to create the National HBCU Auxiliary and Dance Directors Association. This organization is dedicated to facilitating, networking, training, and mentoring of HBCU performers, coaches, and performers, as well as the high school coaches that perform the HBCU style. She is also an author who penned essays for HBCU themed compilations, HBCU Made, and the HBCU Experience Dance Edition. She's a member of the Tau Beta Sigma National Honorary Band Sorority. I don't know if I can pronounce all this. Chi Tau Ep Epsilon. Am I saying
Yeah,
it right?
Kaita Epsilon.
Okay, Dance Society, the National Dance Society, and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Wow, that is a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you as a guest. So I don't even know where to start, but let's start with our chat about Gino from Planet Funk. I can't believe you know him, and I actually had him come up to teach at a camp in Minnesota one year.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
he taught up here, and I've had him out on my boat. Is that crazy or what?
that's crazy. I know Gino from way back when I lived in Dallas the first time because I've lived in Dallas twice.
Mhm.
And the first time I was doing other stuff. I'd been dancing in college and I wanted to continue dancing. And so I started taking classes at a studio in Dallas and ran into him. I can't even tell you how. I just don't even know. I can't,
He's
it's
quite
hard to say.
gregarious.
It's hard to
Yeah.
say how, but I ran into him and, started dancing with him and his group and we perform everywhere all around Dallas and so he was just getting started really.
Oh, okay.
Back when we were doing stuff, and yeah, he's cool guy. I haven't seen him in eons and years, but yeah.
Oh, well, that's a funny connection.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about HBCU, like the historic. Go ahead and like explain to people that have maybe never heard that term what it means.
With the term HBCU,
Yeah.
that term or that name stands for historically Black colleges and universities.
Eh,
So HBCU for short,
mhm.
another mouthful, right?
Right.
And our universities were created right after emancipation in the United States in order for um, former slaves and the children of slaves to get an education. And yeah, so where I'm coaching now at Prairie View A&M um, was the second HBCU. And I don't want to make a mistake and say which was the first. I think it was Lincoln up in Pennsylvania. But
So, what state are you in now?
I'm in I'm in Texas.
You're back in Texas. Okay.
Yes, I'm in Texas, and I'm currently the director of the Black Foxes dance line at Prairie View A&M. And so yeah, that's where I am. And so that's what it is. And be over the years, the performance genre that we call the HBCU style has, you know, it grew. It started in the 50s as
Mhm.
basically baton twirling.
Okay.
And then it transitioned in the late 60s and 70s. It transitioned into dance teams.
Right.
And from that, we kind of have our own style that is made up of everything in pop culture that you could imagine. And we've developed our own style, and it just continues to grow and grow and grow and change and become more popular. And yeah, so that's the history of the style, and that's where it's come from.
It seems to keep evolving and growing, and a lot of people refer to it as majorette, right?
Yes.
And the first time I heard that, it was foreign to me because in my, growing up in Minnesota, way up north, the term majorette to me meant like a baton twirler,
And
but
it,
which I was too. But I understand now that that probably evolved from baton twirling into dance, but they kept calling it majorette, right?
yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly a expert
Mhm.
on that particular transition, but the way we like to think of it is that majorette is a sub style of the HBCU genre.
Okay.
So a lot of people use HBCU style and majorette interchangeably,
Okay.
but a lot of us don't really see it that way. We see HBCU genre kind of here, and then hanging off of that are sub styles, and majorette is one of those. Because
Okay.
if you ask a lot of us, in fact, HBCU dance teams came from majorette teams, from baton twirling
Okay.
majorette teams. And so I think that's where a lot of people get it from, is they just say, oh, well, they're majorettes, but we're most of us just kind of go by we're HBCU dancers.
This episode is sponsored by the Just for Kicks Teacher Program, your ultimate destination for all your dancing needs. Studio owners and teachers enjoy special discounts on all your dancewear essentials, including shoes, poms, leotards, bike tards, dance dresses, and more. Plus, don't miss out on our all-new liquidation page, where you can find incredible deals on high-quality costumes at unbeatable prices. With a wide range of in-stock items ready to ship today, top-notch customer service, we're here to support you every step of the way. Visit us at justforkicks.com or call us at 1-800-450-DANCE to get started now.
You've moved a lot. What was the behind your moves? You just have such an interesting life.
I have moved a lot. Most of it is because of my full-time job. I'm in technology. So
Okay.
yeah, I started my career with IBM in Texas, in Austin, Texas. And I was young and single, so I just moved around. I
But
moved
wherever
around.
you went, you started coaching dance. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
just talking to a friend that it's like in your blood and you can't get away from it. Yeah.
you cannot get away from it. It goes with you. It just stayed with me. And one of the things, not just HBCUs, but in marching arts
Mhm.
worldwide, we just have this thing, like we just can't get rid of it. It is so hard to move away. And if you talk to members of like DCI teams
Drum
and
Corps
W
International. Oh, I love
yeah, yeah, and WGI and other they're the same way. We're
it.
just fanatical. We cannot get rid of it. It's really hard to walk away from. I'm just very lucky that some people trusted me enough
Yeah.
to put me in charge of their teams.
No, and
It
I think it's interesting because everywhere you went, there probably was a need because it's
yeah,
hard to find great coaches, as we know. And
yeah,
so they probably were like, yes, yes, we'll
yeah,
take you. Right.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's always been friends uh, that I went to college with that, they're band directors at other schools. And so they were like, hey, I need help with my team. Can you just come help? And I was like, yeah, I can come help. And then I ended up being the coach. It's just,
That's
that's
how
just
I
kind
started
of
too. I went to
yeah.
go help and the coach ended up moving away and I'm like, there I was.
Absolutely. That's what happened in Washington, D.C. And then, but again, like when I was in the D.C. area, I started working for big contracting firms up there. And so I stayed in D.C. for 3 years. And then I moved, where I go? I went back to Texas. And then I went to Atlanta and I did a little, I started a team there at a high
And
school.
all these teams you've started, are they still going?
Well, yeah, Marl High School's still there, still going.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. What a
Uh,
legacy you've left. I mean, to have all those startups. So a lot of people listening probably are new coaches that are struggling through startups. Any advice for that?
whew. The biggest being that we are associated
Mhm.
primarily, not no, not 100%, but primarily we are associated with marching bands.
Okay.
Now, we do have HBCU dance teams that we call our spring sports team or competitive team. So they dance mostly at basketball games and then they'll compete and stuff like that. So we do have that. But we mostly are affiliated with marching bands. And what I would say is that do everything you can to be on the same page with your band director.
Okay.
Um, Different band directors have different visions. And if they don't have a vision, they'll tell you that. They'll say, you know what, I don't. I just don't know. I don't have vision at all. And if you could come in and help develop something, I'd love that. Some band directors, though, they do have a vision, or the school has put constraints on them. So the
Okay.
school kind of hints at what they will and will not have. Will and so the band director has to see that through.
Right. Oh, it's interesting because most people that are current high school dance team coaches probably don't understand that originally, like when I started coaching, we had to dance with the band.
Yep.
We were required to use band music at
Yep.
all times because they
Yep.
wanted the focus. And I mean, in our state and in many states, that has gradually changed. And like what you're saying, it kind of broke off into competitive teams and then football performing with the band teams. I mean,
Yeah.
and many programs still have like a fall performance team and then a winter competitive team. So
Hmm.
it is
Hmm.
different, but oh wow, that's so neat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. And when you come into a new space, everybody has a boss, right? Everybody has a boss. And I think sometimes we forget that.
Mhm.
So definitely new coaches, find out the lay of the land, talk to the band director, or if you're one of the other competitive teams that's under student affairs or whoever is in charge of you, you still have a boss.
You have a
And
boss and you have to answer to them, right?
somebody you have to answer to because you want things to go smoothly, um and sometimes change just takes time if you're a change agent. I know for a couple of the teams that I coached at Howard and South Carolina State, they brought me in because they needed a change, and they saw me as someone who could do that. Now I got beat up a lot by alumni who just weren't ready
For
to
change.
see any change, right? And so I got harassed, but yeah, if you're coming in and ready to make change, and that person, that band director, whoever it is, they have your back, then you're in a good place.
You're in a good place. So, with what you do currently, are you at a college
Yeah,
currently?
Prairie View,
Right.
and what's interesting is my husband is the marching band director there.
Oh,
So
that's convenient.
so I
That's
kind of I kind of didn't have a choice.
he's your boss. I know a
Sort
couple
of.
other I know a friend who her husband's an AD and she was the dance coach and yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of
Yeah.
so in college you don't deal with parents too much, right?
Well, not too much, but we still, believe it or not, with this generation,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll get a parent or two. Yeah.
What has changed, like we both have coached a long time. Do you feel it's gotten more difficult with parents?
Yeah.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like everyone's a little more invested. When I first started coaching, you couldn't even get anybody to come watch. I remember
Yeah.
I used to go do what I did, and my parents didn't go watch me. They just didn't.
Yeah.
They weren't living through you the same as parents do now. I mean, I
Right.
think they missed out on a lot probably too, but it was just different. It was, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do for costumes? Is costuming a fun part of your job? I love the
Oh,
costuming myself.
it's the best part. It's
Yeah,
it's the best part. In fact, I'm in the middle of that right now.
me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
For next year,
It's
I'm already doing that.
Yeah, it's I kind of give my captains, my new captains for the year, I give them sort of like a little perk of being able to submit designs if they want to. And then we come up with designs, and uh, we have to start early, so we're working on that now. Because once you get in, as you know, once you get into the production season, you're talking 6, 8 to 10 weeks on production time. So we try to get started early. We've been doing some fundraising so that we can get more uniforms this year. Typically, we'll get anywhere from 2 to 4 new uniforms a year.
Oh, wow. So,
Yeah.
do you do custom costumes?
We do custom. Yeah, we do custom, and even if we don't, we'll take something that exists and then tweak it to be custom for us.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we'll do custom. I have a lot of just random people who will send me emails and say, "Hey, I thought this would look good on the foxes." And so
Oh,
they'll send me these designs and these drawings
and you're like,
of
hey,
uniforms, and we'll look at them and be like, "Oh, that's cute," and so we'll start designing and everything, and hopefully we get designs submitted, early July, no later than early July, late June if possible, so that we can start working. Because the way it kind of works with the HBCU teams is that we like to look good for our special games.
Okay.
So we have a couple of special games. We have what's called classics. So
Okay.
we have the Labor Day Classic, which is a game between us and our rival Labor Day weekend. We have State Fair Classic. So the very first opening day of the Texas State Fair. It's a
Oh,
big football game and it's a big, huge event. So those big, huge event. And then of course there's homecoming. So we try to have a nice, cute new uniform for homecoming and for the State Fair Classic and everything. And
wow.
we try
So,
and target getting those uniforms then.
do you have any shout out for a certain company you work with?
I work with uh when we first got here, who did we start working with? I can't remember. But now we work with a company that's actually based here in Houston, and her name is Georgette, and she has a company called Georgie Girl.
Okay, I think I've heard of
George,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
Georgia. And
Georgie Girl.
how
Well,
about you mentioned fundraisers? What do you do for fundraisers? Any good ideas for other people?
gosh, we're getting ready. Well, everybody loves double good popcorn.
Mm.
And, for some reason, that popcorn is so expensive, but people buy it.
Isn't that great?
People will buy that popcorn. But also we're getting ready to have a an event with our alumni where we're going to get together and have a dance party. And
Oh,
yeah, we're gonna like do dances, do stand routines and dances together and invite alumni and have them pay to come in, and then that'll be the fundraiser for us. We're looking for a platform to create a paraphernalia uh uh platform so that we can sell to our alumni, sell
oh,
to them. They can buy shirts and stuff like that. And
I could probably help you with that because our company we have is called the Tea Hive, and we do custom like mugs, t-shirts, charcuterie
yes,
boards, all that kind of thing. And then we have what's called a team store, and you
yeah,
can have them in there, and people can go on and pay with their credit card.
yeah. See, we need that. We
We can
definitely
talk
need
later.
that.
Um, so you do a lot. I love your alumni idea because we're having our 50th anniversary of our team. So unlike you, I've stayed in the same place since I graduated. And I've been all over,
Okay,
but I've
okay.
coached here my whole life. And our alumni, it's turning 50 years next year. So
That's amazing.
yeah, so we're inviting them all for homecoming. And we're going to have a big performance on the field. And I never thought of charging them and adding that as an alumni, almost like a gifting. Like we
Mhm.
could even say you're a, $25 sponsor, 50, 10, whatever. And
Yeah,
that would be kind of neat and have it be
yeah,
a legacy of the alumni group. I love that idea. I mean, colleges do that all the time. They have like, you're the alumni of the college and they have what am I trying to say? My son gets the emails all the time, where you're supporting your university that you were graduated from.
yeah, yeah. And they'll
So,
have fundraising campaigns.
mhm.
And then we also have the alumni, they're actually incorporated into a nonprofit now. So they go off and they do events on their own. And then at homecoming, they present us with a couple of scholarships, and then
Oh,
they present us with like a large sum of money that gets deposited into our foundation account, and we get to use that for whatever we need it for. Um, but I'm wanting them to do some fundraisers this summer so that we can like
yeah,
get our
get
uniforms kicked
ahead.
off and get all that done. But so yeah, I mean, you can definitely get creative with the fundraising, especially if your alumni is very organized and very tight knit
Do you have
and
an
their
alumni
business.
group? I didn't mean to interrupt you, but do you have an alumni group all the time that's just like somebody's the president of it or
Mhm.
oh, that is neat. I need to do that.
Yeah,
Do that right
yeah,
away. And if you're listening, that's something maybe your college or high school team could do to help support your team because
yeah.
nobody cares as much as the alumni or the alumni parents.
Right,
I,
right.
I think
And
that's
and see, and if you can encourage them to to incorporate and go ahead and incorporate as a nonprofit,
Uh-huh.
then people are more inclined to give because it's tax deductible. Whatever they donate
Paid it
is tax
off. Oh, I
deductible.
like that. I like that. You know, it's funny because I do these podcasts and I always go away with more knowledge myself. I love everything I learned by connecting with all different people from all over. So you're giving me a lot of ideas.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's so neat. So what are some of the strengths of your team, the styles you do, and what is special to you?
Do you just mean HBCU teams in general or my team?
Maybe maybe your team in or both. I'd love to hear
Or
both.
both?
Yeah.
Um, well, with let's start with my team. We are technique based team,
Okay.
and I'll tell you why I even had to say that in a minute. But in the HBCU genre, you have different styles of teams. So you know, teams down in the South in Mississippi have one style, teams up along the East Coast have another style, teams out here out west, and the furthest west is Langston University. Um, we have sort of like a hodgepodge and
Hmm?
mixture of the different styles. And so when I say we're a technique based act, we do actual technique on the football field. There are other teams who don't do that. Um, so that's what is unique about us. They have a nickname for us. They call us the sauce of the SWAC. Now the SWAC is our the SWAC is our conference, our football conference.
Oh,
Yeah, and they
what's
call
that
us
stand
the
for?
Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they call us the sauce of the SWAC.
That's so neat.
Yeah, so we're saucy. I'm not quite sure what that means,
Sassy.
but we kind of we like to show our technique. We're very energetic, but at the same time we can dance and just have a lot of fun and be real smooth and have fun with what we do as well. So
I just love learning from everywhere. So,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
about other HBCU, what is maybe unique?
Yeah, like for example, one of the most popular teams out there now is the J-Sets, the Prancing J-Sets from Jackson State University, and they have been very much in the public eye lately. They just marched in the Tournament of Roses parade this past January. Their band just performed at Coachella this past October, November, whenever that was. Um, they they or whenever Coachella was, I can't remember. And they've been very, very popular lately. If you've ever watched the show Bring It, that is the majorette style, and
Okay.
so the Prancing J-Sets kind of are the ones who created that style. There's the Prancing J-Sets and there's the Golden Girls from Alcorn State University, and they're both in Mississippi. And they're the ones who basically created that style that you see. The majorette style is an offshoot of the styles that were created in Mississippi.
Oh, that's
So,
neat. You
so
know,
it's totally different than what we do.
it's so neat. Like when I was young and I first started doing camps, I remember being just in awe. I would cross a state line. And I mean, you'd go into a new state and it would be like culture difference. I mean,
Mhm.
in terms of what style of dance they were doing, because people saw, like at their state tournaments or whatever was winning there. So whoever was good at the time, that's what everybody else tried to emulate. And so, I remember going from Minnesota to Wisconsin. Minnesota in the early years was very, I would call it drill teamy, not
Yep.
mil kind of a little bit military, but with kicks. Where Wisconsin was totally pom, pom pom pom, and I just remember it was just amazing. And then, so every state really does come up with their style and strong
Yep.
groups wherever they were. That's who people tried to model after. Even look at like
And you You're so right, and it's the same way with us because we're in Texas, and so we're this is the home of the what the Rangerettes, the
Or Rangerettes,
Kilgore.
Gussie Nell
Yeah,
Davis. Yeah. I heard
you
her
know,
speak
this
once
is
in Kansas City, and it was just amazing.
yeah, and so a lot of our influence comes from the high kick, the drill team high kick style, which also, home of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Right.
We do the kicks, and a lot of the stuff that we mimic comes from that. And I mean, of course, we'll incorporate other styles like hip
Right.
hop and African and jazz and modern and all those things. We'll get that as well, but you're always going to get a kick line.
Yeah.
Southern University, I was a dancing doll growing up. There was always a kick line, always.
Yeah. Oh, and
He-
Texas is known for their kick lanes. I mean, the Apache
yeah.
belts. Now, one of my mentors was from Baylor,
Uh-huh.
Kay Crawford. I'm sure you've heard that name, Kay Crawford she's passed away, but from Santa Monica, California. But she and Gussie Nell both hold the title of starting the first drill team in the United States, but
Wow.
no one knows which one came first. And they both kind of, carry that title, but it was probably simultaneously in different cities, is what I think that it was happening. But
Yeah.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
that came from Texas too. So a lot of this did come from South.
Yeah, yeah, it did. It really did. And I think that down south, and I don't know why, but we were kind of leading the charge in terms of dropping our batons, you know,
Okay.
letting go of the batons because the band directors were like, hey, things are changing and we want you guys to dance, not just twirl batons. And
Okay.
so that kicked off in the South, and the Golden Girls of Alcorn State University in Mississippi, they were the first team in 1968 to say, no, we're not gonna twirl batons, we're gonna dance. So they kicked it off in 1968, and then the Dancing Dolls followed up in 1969, and then the Black Foxes, where I'm the coach now, followed up in 1970, and then the Prancing J-Sets, they followed up in 1971. And so
Oh,
yeah, they dropped batons and started dancing, whereas other schools, they were still kind of hanging on to the batons for a while.
yeah. And some people are very, steeped in tradition and they don't want to change. And then other people are the change. It
Yeah,
just depends what type of coach it was probably at the time and band
right.
director, like you say.
Yeah.
Well, on your team, can you give me like a short culture? Like, what do you do to promote your team and keep your culture strong? And
Well, I mean, one of the things we do is, we maintain as best we can the relationship with the creator of the Black Foxes, and she's still living here in Houston,
wow.
and the alumni, because that relationship is important
Mhm.
for them to know the history. And for example, at homecoming last year, we wore we had like half the team wear like a really old uniform, and then the other half wore a similar uniform just to kind of give, credence to, hey, we love the history, we love our relationship. And so, another thing is whenever we design our uniforms, we always design one that kind of reminds you of one of the older uniforms, but it'll have a modern flair to it.
Oh, that's neat.
So, yeah, so we like to kind of do a flashback. It may not look exactly like that uniform, but it'll either be the same color or just the same
Something.
design with different material or something like that. So we do like to kind of keep that connection, with the people that established the team and made it what it is. I constant we get them to learn their history. So that history that I just kind of rambled off for you just a minute ago, they learn it. They learn that
You know,
history.
it's interesting that we do need, as educators, we do need to tell our kids about the history and what went before
Yeah.
them. and where it came from. And
Right.
I love your idea with the alumni. And I guess I do some of that too. And I do think it helps our culture is we haven't we always do a holiday show Thanksgiving weekend, and it's kind of a like the Rocket Christmas
Yep.
spectacular type of thing. And we always have the alumni come in the night before and watch us.
Yeah.
And they get all choked up because it's there. We've done the same Rocket Christmas dance since
Oh,
we
wow.
have time. We do that every year. And it's very precision and it's not hard, it's more precise. And
Yeah.
that them coming back and the kids wanting to show off for them, the current kids wanting to live up to the expectations of the alumni really help. And we have another right before, if we make it to state, we have a state kickoff show, and our alumni comes, and we have them form a circle around us, and we sing this song that we out dance, children dance, and we sing it, and they come and join us, and it's just kind of a moment. I love
Hmm.
that, the
Hmm.
alumni.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool. And then, yeah, it can be hard sometimes because uh this younger generation, they're very much into constantly what's new. So social media is always pushing on them what's new. And so it's our job to help them keep our culture in the forefront by reminding them of where we came from, and all of the work that people did to make our teams
Oh,
so successful. And
that is,
especially right now for us, for HBCU teams, we're all getting such great opportunities right now. And so I just want them to remember where we came from,
right.
before all of this started happening.
Oh, because it's come so far. I mean,
Yeah.
we had to fight for everything back in the day,
Yeah.
and I remember in our local paper, the editor said, and it got back to me, it'll be a cold day in hell before I put the dance team on the sports page. And it got back to me, and I was, angry about it. And when they got a new editor, we used to be by the obituaries. That's what all,
Oh.
and they got a new editor, and he called me and he said, "Well, it's a cold day in hell.
Yeah.
We're putting you on the sports page." And I'm like, "Yay!" It was great. But yeah,
Yeah.
all the coaches of today don't even realize, the whole Title IX and the whole everything we fought for. So.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I almost have to wrap up here, but I could talk all day. I just want you to say, what is like probably one of the main highlights of your career? What has been one of the more rewarding things? It's hard to narrow it down, I know.
Mhm. It is hard. Oh gosh. Let's see. I mean, and you know how this is. I mean, we do this and we don't think about it, and we just get up every day and do this, right? A lot of times you don't really even think about what the motivation is. You just get up and you do it. And I'm sitting here looking up at my wall right here, and I've got pictures of, I call them my babies, and married pictures, pregnant pictures, this,
Yeah.
of all of, my students, the graduation pictures, master's, doctorate, all of that. And they're all up here. I know you can't see, but they're all up here on my wall. And I mean, it, sometimes I just sit here and look at it and go, wow,
Yep.
like
Yep. The
the
lives you've changed.
the
And
lives. And yeah, and I'm still close to very many of them as much as I can. I love to. And so
is it
that's always the biggest thing for me is just the opportunity that I'm given to mentor them and to just kind of be in their lives, and make sure that they're okay through their college careers and stuff. I love doing that. That's a huge thing. Of course, getting the Hall of Fame award,
that was pretty cool.
runs a close second, but we also performed. We also performed in the Macy's Parade in 2017, and we were the first marching unit to open the parade,
Oh, I
meaning
want to go back and watch that.
in 2017. Yeah. And we opened the parade. We were in front of the police. You know how in the Macy's parade the
Yep.
police come through? We were in front of them. So we opened the parade. And so that was an amazing accomplishment, a huge opportunity for our students, for the dancers and all of that. So it was great. But
That's
yeah, my wall, that this is, I wish you could see it. Is
You'll
this
have
is
to take a picture and send it to me.
yeah.
It's good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, congratulations on going in the Hall of Fame. What a lifetime achievement that is. And it was really
Thank
great to
you.
meet you. I'm glad our paths crossed, and I know they'll probably cross again. I have a feeling. And thank you for
Yeah.
what you do for HBCU and for all the kids you coach. And you've sure mentored some people today just with all your ideas. So
I
thank
hope
you.
so.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, Shawn.
Well, I just thank you for having me, and just, I almost kind of fanned out a little bit when I met you
Oh,
in Dallas, and because I told you about the videos, and then I said,
yeah, you watch our Just for Kicks videos. That made me feel so happy. Yeah.
yeah. Now, who is Jared?
Jared's my son.
That's what I figured. And I was like, I wanted to like make a joke to you and just say, will you please tell Jared to stop emailing me? But no,
Does
because
he, what does he email about?
we get he does all of the marketing emails. So he does the
Oh.
emails about the the $5 t-shirts and
Oh,
this,
he
and
must
so
be on
like
his list.
yeah, so yeah, he's on my list. Yeah, I'm
He's in
definitely
our
on his
marketing department,
list.
so that's why he does that. My,
Yeah.
my kids are all involved in our business, so it's crazy. But
Yeah, that's awesome. But we wear Move You. So
oh, that is awesome. I'm happy to hear that.
yeah, we do wear Move You, so we love it. We love it. I love it.
Well, I'm
So
actually picking up at my granddaughter's at daycare today because my daughter's at a photo shoot. So that's why I have to end this. Otherwise, I keep going. So, well,
well,
thank you. And
thank you
I'll
for
have to
having
tell,
me.
oh gosh, thanks, Sean. I'll have to tell my son that he's been annoying you. Take
I will.
care and thank
Okay.
you. You're the best.
Thank you. You have a great day.